Hey, this is Mike, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you a little bit about what to do with a photo after you've taken it. Taking a photo is a little bit like writing a first draft of an essay as far as I'm concerned. That's half of what you really need to do. The next part of it is going to be post-processing. So there's cropping, there's straightening the photo, there's adjusting the contrast and the colors, various things like that. So I've got a photo here from one of the students, and it's an interesting photo for a lot of reasons, and this is the original photo. And it can be saying a lot of things, so I wanted to use this as an example of how to think about cropping your photo. Right now, this photo has got a little bit of, it's got some issues going on here. We've got two trees, as you can see, one on the left-hand side and one on the right-hand side, and it kind of blocks in everything. So I was thinking about cropping it. Let's see what would happen if we decided, instead of making the planter the very center of attention, if we moved the planter over to one side or the other. So I'm here in Picasa, and if you don't have Picasa, you should download it from Picasa.com, and I'll put information about that on the website. And one of the tools here in Picasa is crop. So I'm going to click on the crop tool, and then we can choose different crop features. So I'm going to choose manual crop, but you could choose any sort of defined crop that you wanted, but we're going to choose manual for right now. So let's take a look and see what happens if we cut one of those trees out. And I'm going to go ahead and cut out one of those trees, the one on the right, and I'll say apply. So I don't know that the picture is any more improved that way. I think that the planter is still sort of just there in the middle, and I think that that tree on the left just serves to focus your attention back on the planter, and the tree's not really doing much for me in the picture. So I'm going to undo that crop, and let's take a look at some other options. I could leave the tree on the right and get rid of the tree on the left. I could decide a lot of things, but what I'm going to do here is I'm going to decide to cut out both trees and leave the wood pile in the back, which I find pretty interesting, and the wood pile on the side, which I like. And I'm going to decide that I don't want to pick up the bottom of the planter because it's not a very attractive bottom. And we're just going to leave the very top of the planter to give you an indication of where it is. And I'll say apply. And I don't know if I like it any better, but it's a little bit more interesting because I'm not being blocked by the trees. And I may decide to crop it in different ways. So let's go ahead and take maybe a little bit more off of the left, leave that wood pile on the right that I like, and maybe pull the image up a little bit so that none of the planter is showing. And I'll say apply. And I'm starting to like it a little bit better already. It's much more visually interesting. It's got a lot more motion to it because we've got the eye goes from the yellow flowers here up through the leaves, and then you sort of have the whole thing framed by the wood piles. So this to me is beginning to be a bit more of an interesting picture. Now you may think differently, but the idea is that you want to be able to play with your images and crop them. So that's sort of the first lesson in editing, is understanding what's important about your picture and deciding what you want to cut out of the picture and what you want to keep in the picture. And that's just about it.